Hello and welcome to YNWA Transfer News, your ultimate source for all Liverpool FC transfer news. Our first news is this. Salah Wirtz makes honest Liverpool admission after finally ending drought. Much more. Salah Wirtz has expressed his delight at breaking his barren spell for goal contributions whilst representing Liverpool. The attacking midfielder provided 2 assists as the Reds demolished Eintracht Frankfurt 5-1 on Wednesday. The 22-year-old had managed a single assist on his club debut during the Community Shield clash with Crystal Palace, yet had struggled to add to that lone contribution in either Premier League or Champions League fixtures before Liverpool's journey to Germany. However, the midfielder broke his duck in spectacular style on familiar territory, initially delivering a pinpoint low cross for Ekitike during the second period before setting up Dominik Szoboszlai from the penalty area's perimeter. The 116.9 million, 155 meters summer acquisition from Bayer Leverkusen was thrilled to finally return to the goal contributions column. Nevertheless, whilst accepting culpability for Frankfurt's opening strike, he maintained that he possesses much more to offer Liverpool. "I've never conducted an interview so soon after a match," Wirtz told DAZN after the final whistle. "If I recall correctly, we were 1-0 down. We got back into it and turned the game around. In the first half, I made it hard for myself getting into good spaces. And then I was unfortunate to lose the ball before we conceded. But on the whole, it was okay. I tried to get into better spaces during the second half. I know that I can do much more. I think the second half was really good, and from everyone else too. So I'm satisfied that we've won today and that I finally have a goal involvement." Wirtz has now clocked up 12 appearances for Liverpool so far. Despite not finding the back of the net yet, he's provided 3 assists and will be vying to keep his starting spot for Saturday's journey to Brentford. Having been used merely as a substitute in the Reds' previous 2 Premier League encounters with Chelsea and Manchester United, Mohamed Salah makes Salah Wirtz fume at what he did in Liverpool versus Frankfurt. Mohamed Salah missed the opportunity to pass the ball to Salah Wirtz, who was in a prime position to score against Frankfurt, prolonging the German's goalless streak at Liverpool. The $116 million summer recruit was playing on home soil as the Reds bounced back with a resounding victory in the Champions League. Manager Arne Slot mixed things up by starting star forward Salah on the bench before bringing him on as a second-half substitute. Wirtz, who started the match, played a key role in establishing Liverpool's dominant lead, having registered 2 assists for Ekitike and Dominik Szoboszlai, respectively. When Salah entered the fray, he was clearly eager to make his mark, and found himself in a scoring position down the right wing, lining up for a shot on goal. He could have easily passed to Wirtz, who was just 8 yards out, but the Egyptian opted to take the shot himself. After goalkeeper Michael Zetterer saved his attempt, a visibly frustrated Wirtz expressed his annoyance at his teammate by throwing his arms up in the air. Both Salah and Wirtz are under pressure to score, with the Reds winger also failing to play the new 116-meter man in for a great chance during the defeat to Manchester United on Sunday, when he himself badly missed the target. Wirtz set a British record when he transferred from Bayer Leverkusen to Anfield, but was yet to contribute a goal or an assist since his debut until Wednesday night, reports the Mirror. Salah, on the other hand, has been a pale imitation of the player who was so prolific last season. Now 33 and having recently signed a new contract, the forward needs to demonstrate that he can still perform at the highest level. He's only netted 3 times in all competitions and hasn't scored since mid-September. No longer guaranteed his place in the starting Drought, the Egyptian was evidently desperate to make his mark and break his barren spell in front of goal, yet couldn't find the net. Meanwhile, Wirtz has faced scrutiny over his lack of impact in attacking areas, though his brace of assists against Frankfurt should quieten his critics. Speaking to DAZN after the final whistle, he reflected, "I've never conducted an interview so soon after a match. If I recall correctly, we were 1-0 down. We got back into it and turned the game around. In the first half, I made it hard for myself getting into good spaces," he continued. "And then I was unfortunate to lose the ball before we conceded, but on the whole, it was okay. I tried to get into better spaces during the second half. I know that I can do much, much more. I think the second half was really good, and from everyone else too. So I'm satisfied that we've won today and that I finally have a goal involvement." Liverpool news and transfers. Live Isak injury update. Frankfurt reaction. Liverpool ended a run of 4 straight defeats on Wednesday as the Reds recorded a comfortable 5-1 victory over Eintracht Frankfurt in the Champions League. The Reds fell behind to Rasmus Christensen's strike, but were soon level when Hugo Ekitike equalized on the 35-minute mark. By half-time, Liverpool was winning 3-1, courtesy of further goals from Virgil van Dijk and Ibrahima Konate. Cody Gakpo and Dominic Szoboszlai scored in the second half, and while Florian Wirtz did not score, it was an encouraging night for Liverpool's new number 7 as he assisted those goals for Gakpo and Szoboszlai. There is concern over the fitness of Premier League record signing Alexander Isak, though, after he was forced off at half-time due to a groin injury. Let's hope it's not that bad, but he had to go off because he felt his groin, Liverpool head coach Slot said. "Many people wanted me to play him more, and we had to find the balance, and unfortunately today, that balance didn't work out for us perfectly. But let's hope for the best." Liverpool player ratings versus Frankfurt. 3 players received an 8-10 for their performances against Frankfurt last night, but there were a few 5-10s too on a night that threw up a couple of injury concerns for the Reds. Glaring Richard Hughes. Transfer error looks worse every day. It's only a few months since Liverpool spent $450 now in the summer transfer window. Upgrades were made to practically every area of the squad, with the club breaking the British transfer record twice in succession. But having brought in so many players, across goalkeeper, defense, and attack, neglecting to recruit a central midfielder now looks a glaring failure. These issues stretch back to 2024. Back then, Liverpool identified Martin Zubimendi as their no-one pick for the summer transfer window. Having failed to convince him to leave Real Sociedad, the club opted to use Ryan Gravenberch in defensive midfield instead. Liverpool ignored warning signs over Gravenberch. That was, of course, a rip-roaring success with the Dutchman surpassing Zubimendi's quality and winning the Premier League title. However, there were warning signs that Gravenberch needed competition, or at least more cover, as early as the run-in last season. Gravenberch was a consistent presence in the Reds' midfield, not missing a minute until December, but was given more rest towards the end of the season as the toll of a regular midfield role began to tell. And right at the start of this campaign, with Gravenberch suspended, Arne Slot had to fiddle with his lineup in order to adequately replace the 23-year-old. He opted for Dominic Szoboszlai, but in truth, Liverpool were cut to ribbons through the middle third against Bournemouth on matchday 1. Liverpool should have signed midfielder. Gravenberch then suffered an injury on international duty, necessitating an early return to his club. It was reckoned that the former Bayern Munich player suffered a hamstring injury, but it didn't keep him out of the weekend tie against Manchester United. But Liverpool have now been left exposed following a nasty-looking ankle injury suffered by Gravenberch on Sunday. The Reds are in a pickle in central midfield right now, and the club also chose to ignore the warning signs over Alexis Mac Allister. Having played extensively over the last 5 seasons, including multiple international tournaments for Argentina, it all caught up with the 26-year-old towards the end of the title-winning campaign. He's not been the same player since. Yes, on numbers alone, Liverpool have got plenty. Gravenberch, Mac Allister, Szoboszlai, Endo, and Curtis Jones are 5 top-quality performers, but with question marks over the form of Mac Allister, the robustness of Gravenberch, and the overall longevity of Endo, last summer was a failed mission in midfield. Liverpool could well have moved for another midfielder in the shape of Samuele Ricci or Mikel Jorigizar, and they weren't the only players on the list. Instead, Hughes and Slot ignored the problem which first cropped up a year before and went into the season in the same midfield situation. It's not quite a fatal error, but surely in January or summer 2026 it's one which should be rectified. Liverpool transfer news as 100 mm move considered and Mark Guehi alternative emerges. Liverpool returned to winning ways emphatically by beating Eintracht Frankfurt in the Champions League. With Hugo Ekitike and Dominik Szoboszlai starring in Germany, Arne Slot found a way to get more from some of his Liverpool signings, including Florian Wirtz, and that will give the Liverpool boss plenty of food for thought ahead of the weekend trip to Brentford in the Premier League. Despite the soccer played by the Reds being much improved, the rumor mill hasn't stopped. Here is the Liverpool.com verdict on the transfer gossip to emerge today, with an excellent Premier League winger linked, plus a Bayern Munich star, Antoine Semenyo, Bournemouth. Liverpool is considering a January transfer move for in-form Bournemouth winger Antoine Semenyo, according to the I paper. The 25-year-old has been in great form in recent weeks, including netting a brace at Anfield. He has scored 6 goals and registered 3 assists in 9 games for Bournemouth so far this season. He has fired Ghana to the World Cup, but won't be playing at AFCON as his nation hasn't qualified. Semenyo had interest from the likes of Spurs in the summer transfer window, but he stayed put and signed a new deal. That new contract is thought to contain a release clause. While no number has emerged publicly about what it might take to trigger the clause, Bournemouth wanted around $175 million for Semenyo in the previous window. Liverpool signed Milos Kerkez from Bournemouth in the summer. The Cherries also lost other key defenders, including Ilya Zabarnie and Dean Huijsen, but Andoni Iraola's attack was largely left intact. Dayot Upamecano, Bayern Munich. Crystal Palace captain. Mark Guehi has been linked with Bayern Munich and other clubs around Europe after it was confirmed by Oliver Glasner that he would be leaving Selhurst Park in 2026 and in what could become a merry-go-round of center-backs. Dayot Upamecano could move on from the German giant when his contract expires. He, like Ibrahima Konate, is only tied down until next summer. According to the German outlet Bild, Liverpool, Inter Milan, Real Madrid, and Chelsea are all taking a look at Upamecano and considering a move for him as a free agent. The French international is said to be demanding a salary of around $358K, $268K per week. He is not agitating to move on as things stand, meaning there could be negotiations to be done. The report adds that Bayern Munich has earmarked Guehi and Borussia Dortmund's Nico Schlotterbeck as alternatives should they lose Upamecano. Schlotterbeck has also been put forward as an option for Liverpool in recent months. Hugo Ekitike makes honest admission about Alexander Isak and Liverpool transfer. Not the best. Hugo Ekitike has admitted his strike partnership with Alexander Isak can improve after the pair played together up front for Liverpool for the first time against Eintracht Frankfurt. The France international equalized for the Reds with a well-taken goal on the counter-attack as Arne Slot's side came from behind to run out 5-1 winners in Germany. Further goals from Virgil van Dijk, Ibrahima Konate, Cody Gakpo and Dominik Szoboszlai clinched an emphatic win for Liverpool as the reigning Premier League champions bounced back from Sunday's loss to Manchester United to end a 4-game losing run. Ekitike, who joined the Reds from Frankfurt in a deal worth up to 79 millers back in the summer, impressed against his former employers before being replaced in the 74th minute shortly after Liverpool's 5th goal. However, Isak was taken off at half-time, having been denied by goalkeeper Michael Zetterer on more than one occasion, with Slot revealing after the final whistle that the decision to withdraw the Swede was enforced because of a groin injury. Ekitike now boasts 6 goals and an assist from his first 12 appearances for the Reds. In contrast, Isak has registered a goal and an assist from 8 outings. With his only strike coming in the League Cup third-round win over Southampton, the Sweden international has been left playing catch-up following a disjointed pre-season at former club Newcastle United as he essentially went on strike to force through an exit. And while he is not yet up to speed and has now potentially suffered a setback after being forced off against Frankfurt, Ekitike is confident that the pair will forge a strong partnership in future. I think it was good, he said when reflecting on his first start alongside Isak. Obviously, it was not the best half together, but I think we can improve. Together. He's a very good player. I know in time we need to work together and find a good association. The links will come, and it will work. I think why I have settled so quickly, is because in my brain, I feel good. I have very good teammates, good staff. I love my life there. I just hope I'm going to keep going. I feel really good, and they have helped me a lot. I think that's why I'm calm and just doing my thing. Meanwhile, Ekitike, who did not celebrate his goal against Frankfurt as he instead held his hands up apologetically to the home supporters, also paid tribute to his former club after the final whistle, as he admitted he would not be a Liverpool player if it was not for the role the Bundesliga outfit had played in his career. You know, I had to score. It was a great feeling, he told TNT Sports. Obviously, it was something special today for me to come back, I would say, at home. I know everybody here. It was a special game for me. Obviously, to win, that was important, and to also score my first goal in the Champions League. I'm really happy. I was just keeping cool, calm. I do what I can do. I knew he would come and he would open the legs, so I tried to put it between the legs, and that worked. That was good. I have so much respect for them, Frankfurt. They made me the player I am right now. I wouldn't be here if I didn't come to Frankfurt. I can be respectful and grateful for what they gave to me. I will keep what I learned there and what they gave me all the time in the future. Thank you for watching. Like and comment. Subscribe.